New construction is everywhere. And if you're looking to move to Orlando or just within Orlando, there's a lot of different new construction options. So today I'm going to walk you through some pitfalls and some shocking things that I've found in the new construction market and show you which areas of town have the most opportunity. Stay tuned. Before we start taking you around Orlando and showing you some of the newer neighborhoods that I haven't shown off yet and kind of where the major pockets of new construction are, let's talk about 3 things that you should be considering if you're going into the new construction purchase process. Number 1 is build quality. Now, the land cost in Central Florida has skyrocketed, and so a lot of the builders are starting to pull back on their standard options. So one of the number 1 things that you should do is not just look at the model home that the builder has shown off, because usually that's the best that they can do. Actually start walking around and ask what other properties under construction within the neighborhood can you take a look at so you can really understand the build quality from the ground up. Number 2 is builder incentives. Now, some of the higher end properties like 700,000 all the way up to a couple million, those builders are offering more and more incentives to start moving product. But the properties under 500,000, it's going to be harder and harder to find builder incentives. Now, some of them will buy down your rate to get it kind of in that 7% rate down to in something in the 5 and 6s, but many of those incentives are starting to dry up as demand in those price points are at an all-time high. Number 3 would be what's coming to the neighborhood and the surrounding areas. Are there new roads coming in that you need to know about? Are there schools or not schools coming to the area? Shopping, all of these kind of things. It's something that I'm constantly thinking about when I'm looking at these new neighborhoods, because a lot of the salespeople on site will sell you the dream of everything that's coming to the area. And you need to be really comfortable knowing that sometimes that could be a year away or 10 years away. And how does that make the decision on where you decide to build? It's fascinating when I look at the different Toll Brothers, Pulte, Lennar, Dreamfinders, and their stock prices over the past year have almost doubled in some cases, and that's because of so much land that they purchased that are now developing. It's almost the perfect storm for these new builders because there's no inventory on the market for resale, and so they have this massive opportunity. Now, as soon as interest rates start to kind of tick down, I believe that you'll start seeing more and more resale hit the market because people that are caught up in their 4, 5, and 6% interest rates will finally be willing to cash out of that equity. And I think it's gangbusters from there because you have a lot of pent-up demand, people that want to buy but can't, especially if you're looking in areas like Winter Park or Maitland or even Celebration right now has no new construction options, at least for the next couple of years. And so it's interesting to see what's happening in our new construction market for sure. So take a guess how many new construction neighborhoods are, say, in like Orange County, Florida. How many do you think is like a lot? Well, there's currently 209 new construction neighborhoods in the entire county, which is a lot. When you kind of pair that to resale though, it's not the overwhelming majority. Areas like Lake County, which have 129 new construction neighborhoods, where most of that is old orange groves and kind of vacant land, that's where the percentage of overall new construction is absolutely exploding. And so there's a lot of things that need to happen: roads, schools, infrastructure, retail, so much stuff that Orange County already has figured out that Lake County and Polk County and Osceola still are kind of catching up on. But that creates a lot of opportunities for better purchase prices and buying for the future if you're looking for appreciation. You know, it's interesting, there's kind of a tale of 2 cities going on right now inside of Orlando, because you have the resort market, so Davenport, West Kissimmee, where there's a lot of Airbnbs. Having an Airbnb or a second home is obviously a luxury. And so there's not as many people right now that are buying up in those areas. If you're looking for massive incentives and deep discounts, you can look in those areas. I've seen incentives between $40,000 to $90,000 on some of these different neighborhoods. Conversely, where there's people moving here where they want to live full time, that's where the incentives are really razor thin. Some builders are offering maybe $20,000 or $10,000 to help you buy down your rate, or some of them are offering 0 because things are selling still so well in these communities. And so it's wild to see the tale of 2 cities really within a 30 to 40 minute drive of one another. This house has taken almost 2 years to finish. We signed the contract back in 2021. There's been a lot of changes with the new construction market here in Orlando. Let's talk about how that whole process changed and what it looks like today. Pre-COVID, 19, 20 or so, it used to be that you found a house, you picked a lot, and 8 to 10 months later, you had your house. Now, this property's taken almost 2 years, like I mentioned, and things have really changed the way that we go about it. You still find the neighborhood first, and then you pick your model, your elevation, then your structural, and then you're waiting at any given time. This neighborhood, which is Laureate Park 2, there weren't even any roads when my buyer first signed the contract. We were kind of looking at what was eventually going to be coming. And so depending on the state of the neighborhood or the state of the builder, and if we're running into supply issues or labor issues, could determine if your process takes 8 months or multiple years. And so going around the neighborhood, talking to the builder, asking the project managers on site, like how long these are actually taking, will determine if you're going to be able to know exactly, or if there's going to be a lot of unknowns. You've got city officials changing codes. You've got lots of things that are geopolitical in regards to supplies. And so it's never going to be an exact science the way that it used to be, but it still is a great opportunity for you to pick exactly where you want to live, your exact finishes, and get the home that's probably 99% at least of what you want. There's 3 different neighborhoods or areas of town that you should really consider if you're going new construction, and they're really all over Central Florida. Number 1 that I think you should take a look at is Everby by Pulte Homes. The reason why I love this area is that it's close to the airport and close to all the amenities of Lake Nona, but you don't have to pay the Lake Nona pricing. They've got a lot of different options, from townhomes to rear entry and all the way up to estates that are gonna go in that area. But I think for the pricing, it's great. And then maybe you wanna be close to Hunters Creek or close to Celebration or close to the theme parks. Everby's a great spot. It's about 30 minutes from really everything. And so I find there's gonna be a lot of people that probably work on the coast that wanna drive in towards Lake Nona, but maybe don't wanna pay Lake Nona pricing. Everby is something you should take a look at. Number 2 would be the Wellness Way area. Now, I've talked about this in videos past. It's right off of 27 over in Claremont. You've got Wellness Ridge and a lot of other stuff. And this is gonna be very similar to Horizon West when it's all completed. There's gonna be a lot more retail and really cool jobs that are coming to the area with the Olympus project and all the other kind of really high-end sports facilities that are gonna be out there. Now, this is gonna be something that you're gonna wait for though, unfortunately. Unlike Everby that has so much stuff already finished around it, the Wellness Way area is going to be probably a 15-year-ish project until it's completely finished out. Much like Horizon West was, a lot of us moved there waiting for everything to finally show up, and it's finally, 5-10 years later, finally starting to show up. So if you're willing to invest in the future for something very, very cool, Wellness Way is a great option. The third area, and I know I talk about this area a lot because I live there, but Horizon West still has a ton of new options. Currently, there's 13 different neighborhoods going in, everybody from Quahav to Taylor Morrison, Toll Brothers to Lennar. There's lots of different options depending on your price point and your activity style. If you want to live in an active adult neighborhood like a Del Webb, you've got the Pulte neighborhood there. If you're looking for starter homes all the way up to estate-size homes, there's something there. The proximity to Disney is fantastic, and so if you want to live close but not in the resort actual market, Horizon West is a great option. Thinking through the whole process, there's lots of different options out there. Obviously, there's resale homes, there's spec homes where the builder will finish it and then you'll know an exact date, even though you don't get to pick all your finishes. Or there's obviously this new construction process. But think about this, there's almost 600 new communities throughout the 5-county area here in Central Florida. And so there's lots of choices. And my team and I want to be your real estate resource of choice to kind of help navigate the whole process and where you should land. So if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in Central Florida, email me info@pozekgroup.com or call the number in the description below. We'll see you guys on the next video.